The Procurement Administration Unit in the Department of Finance is finalizing regulations to the new procurement legislation enacted in June of 2021. Acting Director of Procurement Administration Anthony Jean said the impact of procurement on the estimates of national expenditure is significant, as government is the biggest procurer of goods, services and works on island.
Anywhere in the region of 15 to 20, in some years up to 25% of your estimates, and you can imagine that in the last 5 years our estimates have been in the region of 1.2 to 1.5 billion. That is a lot of our expenditure going in that direction.
Jean indicated that there is increased scrutiny by the general public with regards to the use of public funds, and thus public officers must adhere to a logical process which ensures transparency, accountability and fairness in the procurement process.
So it really puts public officers, public officials under a broader microscope in terms of accounting, So the procurement processes in place are all part of the Department of Finance's whole efforts towards improvements in our fiscal accountability framework. You would have seen similar upgrades being done in terms of public financial management laws. So all of these are a response to the increasing demands on public officers to be more accountable and transparent in their actions.
St. Lucia's procurement legislation was designed in congruence with international best practices. Jean says the procurement process should encourage broader participation and capacity building through competition, and it must be viewed as an important indicator for monitoring national productivity.
So it increases productivity. It allows people to be more strategic in their actions, and you get more for less resources and efforts expended.
Jean explained the difference between transparency and visibility in the procurement process.
It's one thing to say in our annual estimates that we allocated $1 million to a particular activity, and at the end of the cycle, we can all see that the asset existed, or be it a structure, whatever. That is visibility, not transparency. Transparency in terms of public procurement requires that all parties, all stakeholders involved can clearly see the process that was followed in acquiring that asset. So if I was capable in participating in that opportunity, even if I can at least admit, hey, clearly based on the requirements that had to go into this, I would not qualify. So I know where it is I need to work on if I want to get to that stage at some point in my career.
The Director of Public Administration noted that despite government's desire to increase the effectiveness and efficiency of public procurement by gaining increased value with the limited resources available, this must not be achieved at the expense of suppliers.
What you really want to accomplish is a win-win situation where government as the buyer, the suppliers, local, regional, international, as our partners in providing our public services. You want a situation where it's not where government wins and they lose, because that is only short term. Vice versa, you don't want government to lose at the expense of suppliers. They will, in the medium term, suffer the consequences of that. So procurement requires, yes, we get goods and services at reasonable prices, but also your supplier market develops as well. So you must strike that balance.
Procurement legislation is relatively new to the Caribbean region, and thus St. Lucia's new Procurement Act and Electronic Government Procurement System, EGP, Jean says, is being monitored by many jurisdictions as a model for public procurement administration. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.